Live from 79-year-old Earl Crabb Gymnasium on the campus of Placer High School, Touchdown Productions, celebrating 19 seasons of local sports excellence, is proud to present the CIF Sac Joaquin Section Les Schwab Tire Division IV Basketball Playoffs, presented by Farmers Insurance. Tonight, in an opening round of the 2016 playoffs, your PVL champion and number 5 seed, Placer Lady Hillmen, take on the Western League champions, number 12 seed, Livingston Lady Wolves. The Lady Hillmen are on their quest for a section title, and all the basketball action begins right here. It's your NorCal Game of the Week. And with the Placer band in the background, the Lady Hillmen open up the 2016 Division IV playoffs at home as the number 5 seed, as I said earlier. And they prepare to take on the number 12 seed Livingston Lady Wolves. Good evening, basketball fans, wherever you are across our worldwide audience. This is Paul Brown, and with me tonight, Super Steve Sitter, our play-by-play announcer. Our producer and director in the Commander 2 is Gilbert M. Dominguez, and he is joined by our Touchdown Productions sports team of Ramonda, Howard, Cody Hitchcock, Giovanni Paulo, and Eve Wilkins. Here we are on this Earl Crabb against Steve, and it's playoff time. What do you think about this pair of league champions that we have playing tonight?
Well, the games certainly don't get any easier for anyone as these teams enter the 3rd season. The Hillmen enter the playoffs as the PVL champion and number 5 seed. They finished 9-1 in league, but also, and some would say more importantly, finished with a 9-game winning streak.
Yeah, I think it's very important. They're definitely on a roll. Meanwhile, the Livingston Wolves are on a very similar path. They finished as co-champions of the Western League and are on an 8-game winning streak. That's something to talk about.
Yeah, another interesting development is that the Lady Hillmen are playing in Division IV, while the boys team, who begin their playoff run tomorrow, are playing in Division III, a much tougher division. So it will be interesting to see how far the teams get in their respective divisions in this postseason.
Clearly, Livingston is producing some good basketball. So we are moments away from our player introductions and tip-off, and when we return, we'll break down the playoff grids and our local teams as we get set for the start of a big game for Placer High School. We've got the opening round in Division IV coming up right here on your NorCal Game of the Week. This is TouchdownProductions.com. We'll see you in 30 seconds. It's going to be a good night, fans. Stay tuned.
Your car is one of the most important assets you own. And Reeby's Auto Parts is dedicated to helping you keep it in tip-top condition. Reeby's Auto Parts is a family-owned and operated business since 1956. We have a friendly and knowledgeable staff, and as a Napa Auto Parts dealer, you're sure to find the right part you need from either of our 2 Nevada County locations. You can always count on Reeby's to be there when you need us. It's Reeby's Auto Parts in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
And now we are back here at the Earl Crabb Gymnasium, just about to start Division IV ladies basketball. And I am Steve Sitter alongside Paul Brown, about to start first round action. And although Livingston doesn't have any stats on Max Preps for us to really look at, we do have some inside information. Isn't that right, Paul?
We do. I talked to Nina Garcia, the very young coach of this Livingston team, and she said she has one outstanding player. That's Sharon Sahota, and she's averaging about 15 points a game. She says she doesn't like to put her stats on Max Prep because she doesn't want to give away any secrets to the other teams. So I can respect that, I suppose. Yeah, but it doesn't do us any good.
Yeah, a few teams do subscribe to that. They discourage scouting, certainly. Colfax's football team is very big into that philosophy.
That's very true, too. So
yeah, the only stats that Livingston has on Max Preps are their free throws, and they're shooting 52% as a team, for what that means to anyone.
So the coach must be proud of that, I suppose, and so she's going to post that. We do know about the Placer Hillmen, the Lady Hillmen, and we do know that this is a team that's led by Bailey Vanderdoes. We've seen them many times here on touchdownproductions.com.
Oh, yes.
And what can you say about her, Steve? I mean, she can basically carry the team.
21 points per game, yeah, that'll do that.
And that's just an average game. We've seen her score into the 30s, and so they'll have to contend with that as every other team that plays against her will too. Let's take a look at the brackets. Steve, if you go through this, please.
Absolutely. You see the game tonight, number 5 Placer and number 12 Livingston. Also going on tonight over in Sonora, the 13 seed Bear River team, and if they are able to pull off an upset against Sonora, we would have a dream situation here in the foothills. If Placer can defeat Livingston, Bear River would be up here in the Earl Crab on Thursday. Also tonight, the Division 4 brackets. Venture Academy and Ripon, that's being played down in Sacramento, and Colfax is hosting number 11 seed Marysville. Presumably the winner of that game will also head to Sacramento against Venture Academy on Thursday.
Unfortunately, Colfax doesn't get a home game, so we can't follow them, but we certainly will keep you updated as we do our games here in the foothills. Now tomorrow, let's take a look at that. There you go. Thank you, Gil. Sacramento and Vacaville. And, of course, our own Nevada Union will play Ponderosa. 8-9 games, Steve. It's kind of hard to tell. That's anybody's basketball game. Got any thoughts about that?
Well, we've seen plenty of upsets from much further seeded teams. That's really a toss-up. Nevada Union actually played some pretty good basketball down the stretch. So
they did.
They have the momentum on their side anyway. But either way, Friday, you have number 1 Sacramento waiting for you, presumably.
It could very well be. Also playing Wednesday, Inderkum and Benicia will be playing. And there's our Placer boys. And I'm very optimistic. They're seated number 4, Steve, but they are one fine boys basketball team. They could go a long, long way into the playoffs.
Seated number 4 in Division 3, no less. So they have a somewhat easy road ahead of them against number 13 Rio Linda. And if Inderkum can finish up against Benicia, that'll be a 4 and 5 matchup on Friday. Again, that's anyone's game.
So be sure to join us our next game. That'll be Wednesday tomorrow night. Nevada Union Miners will play maybe the Bear River Bruins, or I beg your pardon, the Ponderosa Bruins. You got me confused there, Gilbert Dominguez. And we will be bringing that to you tomorrow night. Myself and Marty Mortensen will be there to call the game.
And this is the Friday game. The Placer boys taking on the Inderkum Tigers. That'll be a fantastic game, I'm sure. The 13 seed Inderkum.
Out of Sacramento. And be sure to stay with us. The road to the section title. And join us this week as other weeks. TouchdownProductions.com will be with you all the way to the championship. And with that all said, we're about ready to throw the basketball down the floor and play a little basketball. What do you say, Steve?
Absolutely. Sounds great to me.
And I will hand you to Steve Sitter for the play-by-play and the break.
But before we get to that, we will take our second break of the evening, and afterwards we will have the opening tip-off as the band plays us out here on the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
Magnuson's Toyota and Scion is celebrating 25 years serving you in the foothills. Right now, Magnuson's carries the first all-electric SUV, and they're still the home of the Toyota Tundra. Magnuson's Dodge Chrysler Jeep is right down the street and features the new Ram diesel truck, Jeep Wranglers, and Grand Jeep Cherokee. It's Magnuson's Auburn Toyota and Magnuson's Dodge, both in Auburn.
Back here at Placer High School, and we have announcer, I believe that's Mark Lee down there. And he is just about to throw it over to the Placer band for the playing of our national anthem.
Your source for community television since 1997. You can also keep this basketball memory forever by purchasing the DVD for this game tonight. Pick up your order form at Touchdown Productions, remote truck located behind the gymnasium, or the announcement table located in the stands. Touchdown Productions makes sports memories since 1997. Will you please rise for the national anthem?
Placer Band finishing up the national anthem. That brings us to the player introductions for tonight. I'm sure for Placer we're going to see the usual starters: Maddie Hernandez, Bailey Vanderdoes, Julia Camelucci. For Livingston, sophomore number 5, Ashley Huerta. Number 10, senior Gurpreet Sodhi.
Number 11,
Sharon Sahota, senior captain.
Number 23, Anais Castellanos.
Number 23, junior Anais Castellanos.
Number 32, Tina.
And the other senior captain, number 32, Tina Lau.
And the starting lineup for your Lady Hillmen. Number 3, Raven.
Now over for the Placer Lady Hillmen, number 3, Raven Lewis.
Number 5, Amber Burchell.
Senior captain, Amber Burchell, number 5.
Number 11, Madison Hernandez.
Senior captain, number 2, number 11, Maddie Hernandez.
Maddie had a great game last week. We'll see if she can repeat that performance.
5'11", junior, number 12, Julia Camelucci.
And number 34, Bailey Vanderdoes.
And there's the third senior captain at 6'1", Bailey Vanderdoes. And Paul, as you mentioned before the broadcast, Livingston does not have much height on their team. In fact, Placer has 2 players at over 6 feet tall, Bailey Vanderdoes and Gabby Baker. Livingston, it looks like their tallest player might be Gurpreet Sodhi.
And she steps out on the floor here. Yeah, she's got some height, but certainly nothing like Bailey Vanderdoes.
You can see the 2 squaring off at center court. Looks like Bailey's got her by at least 2 inches.
Camelucci will tip the ball.
And this is actually won by Livingston. We have a quick whistle.
Camelucci missed the tip, and she's laughing about it at center court.
And I'm not sure what that whistle was for, but Placer turns to inbound. Quick pass, Camelucci, baseline jumper. And there's 2 on the board for Placer. We'll see if Livingston can answer back. There's a baseline runner, hits the side of the backboard. Offensive rebound by Castellanos. Long 3 on the way. Just rims out, and another offensive rebound. And a quick steal by Hernandez. Hernandez 1 person back, and she puts it in.
Livingston not taking any time. They're going to run the ball up the floor.
High screen, long 3, just a bit short. Rebound taken by Vanderdoes. And a minute into this game, Placer is up 4-0. Vanderdoes for 3, and she hits it. A 7-0 run to start this game for the Lady Hillmen. And a huge block by Vanderdoes, and that gets the Placer fans on their feet.
And I see the bench for the Wolves over there just shaking their head.
There's a long 2 from the corner. That's no good, and another offensive rebound by Huerta. Huerta is the only underclassman in the game. Step back 3. I think that was partially tipped. The putback is no good, and Vanderdoes cleans it up.
Wolves getting a lot of quality shots. They're just not hitting.
And that pass to Camelucci is out of her reach. Somewhat needless turnover there by the Lady Hillmen.
Don't forget, the Livingston Wolves, the Lady Wolves, they were the league champions. This is a team used to winning. They
8-2
went
in the
deep
regular
into the playoffs
season.
last year too, Steve.
That was a nice give and go, and that's going to be a travel. Good idea by Castellanos, but she just drug her pivot foot, and that will be another Livingston turnover. Hernandez for three now. That's no good, and the rebound is again taken by Huerta.
I like the way Livingston blocked out there.
Huerta's got some speed, and she draws the foul. You can see why this sophomore is a starter for a playoff team. That foul is called on Amber Burchell, her first. And the first free throw of the game is good, and that is also the first point for Livingston. Can't get the roll on the second one, but the rebound is stripped away by Sodi, and the jumper is good. A backwards three-point play for Ashley Huerta. Lady Hillmen quickly up the court. Three on the way, and that is very long. Rebound taken by Lau. Lau quickly up court, and she draws a foul.
Lau was not going to be denied, went right to the basket.
That was a 1-on-2.
And she was going to get that shot up. Kind of got bailed out by the foul.
Well, Hernandez is the one who's going to get called for the foul, and she definitely had her feet moving. So we're seeing what kind of offense the Livingston Lady Wolves are putting on, and it is right at you. And another offensive rebound. I guess no one told the Lady Wolves that they're outsized. They are dominating. That is an NBA length three with another offensive rebound.
That is Sota, their best scorer right there. She can shoot the three.
Well, Camelucci is on her right now. Well defended as the shot clock is down to 10. Mid-range two is just off the back of the rim, and Vanderdoes gets that rebound. Long three by Hernandez, and that's no good. Rebound is taken by Tina Lau. Placer, respecting the speed of the Lady Wolves, get back in a hurry. 7-4 Placer leads. Mid-range two, no good. And that is going to be thought this was going to be a jump ball, but I believe that Sharon Sahota was out of bounds. I believe that's the call. Well, either way, Placer has the possession arrow.
In the game, Gabby Baker comes in, the senior center.
And Molly Brogdon also comes in, number 21. Hernandez looking to get inside. Let's get past to Brogdon. Out to Vanderdoes for three. That's no good. Rebound taken by Livingston. Score remains 7-4. 3:50 left in the first quarter. Nice low screen, but the shot is off the mark, and Baker comes up with the rebound.
When you come into a new gymnasium, Steve, it's hard getting used to a basket, especially here at the Earl Krebs. Takes a while for teams to understand this gym.
Well, there's Noble down low, kicks it out to Brogdon for two. No good. Baker gets the rebound. The putback is no good, and that's knocked out of bounds by Brogdon. Livingston will inbound. Approaching the 3-minute mark now. And that's going to be a reach-in foul on Vanderdoes, I believe. Looks like she poked it out clean, but I think she must have got a body in there. That referee says she got some forearm as her first foul. 3 team fouls on Placer, none on Livingston. Castellanos comes out and Ileana Mendoza comes in. And Mendoza, fresh in the game, takes the shot, just doesn't get the roll.
They just can't find the range from outside in this gym. Clearly, Livingston is an outside shooting team. They don't really have an inside player.
Vanderdoes kicks it back out to Hernandez. Hernandez for 3, no good. Rebound pops out to Huerta. And Huerta will take that one-on-one. Goes right in to draw the contact, but no foul is called. And now there's a 2-on-1 developing over to Vanderdoes. Vanderdoes fouled hard and gets the basket.
She was fouled hard, came behind. No chance she was going to stop that shot. I'm not sure why she committed the foul, but.
Well, I said last week, if you're going to foul Bailey Vanderdoes as she goes up for a layup, you have to foul her hard, and that is exactly what happened, and she still managed to put it in.
That was Tina Lau, number 32, on the foul.
Actually, 22. Mendoza gets called for it.
Oh, really?
Free throw by Vanderdoes is good. That is 6 of her team's 10 points. Full court press now put on by Placer, which is quickly abandoned. Pass down low is indeed picked off. Hernandez, comes up with the loose ball. Vanderdoes has it down low, spins, puts it up, no good. Rebound taken by Mendoza.
I like the way the Lady Wolves rebound. They rebound by swarming the basket.
Long 3 on the way. Again, just a bit short. Vanderdoes with another rebound. Baker's shot is denied. 2-on-2 developing the other way. Interesting looking spin move. And Tina Lau gets 2 more.
Tina Lau, that was impressive.
You can see why they made her a captain. 10-6, Placer on top. Freshman Tyra Al-Mujadidi in the game now. That pass over to Vanderdoes. Vanderdoes a little bit short, gets her own rebound, puts it up with the left hand, no good. Third chance, and she'll get to the line.
Bailey frustrated not making those first 2 shots, though. Interesting game, Steve. Placer only ahead 10-6. We don't have the shot attempts statistic, but I'll tell you what, they must have put up an easy 10 or 12 shots. Nothing's going down, though, for the Wolves.
Well, they're certainly leading in the offensive rebounds category as Camelucci comes back in for Gabby Baker.
That's keeping them in the game.
And Placer has to watch out because sooner or later, those opportunities are going to start falling. 1 of 2 free throws, and we are going to have a foul called. I believe this will be on Julia Camelucci.
Four team fouls now for Placer.
That is actually on Tyra Al-Mujadidi, her first. Long 3 on the way, in and out. Sharon Sahota is scoreless, but it is not for lack of trying. Down to 40 seconds left now in the first quarter. Placer leads 11-6. Let's get past to Hernandez, shot fake. Gives it out to Vanderdoes, takes the long 3, no good. Camelucci turnaround, no good. Rebound is fought over and eventually called for a jump ball.
That will go side out to Livingston.
Which is interesting considering that the possession arrow was still pointing towards Placer. I guess they're just not changing it in this game. Shot clock is off, 17 seconds left in the first quarter, down to 15. Livingston clearly waiting for the last shot. Sahota and Hernandez. Nice pass inside. Castellanos blocked by Vanderdoes, down to 2-1. And Camelucci gets it off in time.
Big momentum swing basket at the buzzer. Camelucci getting a great pass inside. Only 2 dribbles down the floor, and classic fast break for Placer as we end the first quarter. 13-6, Placer leads.
Now as we get set for the second quarter, we will step aside, total up some numbers for you here on the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week. Placer leads 13-6 at the end of one quarter.
It's time to visit the newly remodeled B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The new B&C has completely changed for your shopping convenience. Their new expanded garden center has everything you need, including expert advice on trees, shrubs, and perennials. Check out their new website and the new spring hours. And thank you for voting B&C the best hardware and building supply in 2012. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center.
Back here at Placer High School, and you see on the TouchdownProductions.com scoreboard, Placer is outscoring Livingston by a total of 13-6. And Placer also gets to inbound to start the second quarter. Only 5 scorers in that first quarter from both teams. Vanderdoes has 7 of her team's 13. Camelucci with 4, Hernandez with 2. For Livingston, Huerta and Lau have 3 apiece. Camelucci for 2. No good, but an offensive rebound by Molly Brogdon. Back out to Hernandez. Hernandez gets the edge and puts it off the glass. Lau can't shake Hernandez. Just gets the pass off to Sahota. Sahota, it puts it up and good. A long 2 and her first points of the game.
That's about the 4th time she shot that shot. Must be the one that she's trying for. And finally one goes down.
Camelucci to Vanderdoes. Vanderdoes too hard. Second chance. That was partially blocked. And the rebound taken by Sahota. Long 3, and Sahota appears to have found her shot.
15 points a game. Clearly he's doing it from the outside. Cuts the lead now to 4.
In high school girls basketball, the outside shot is usually open. Speaking of, Hernandez takes it and she hits it. That's 7 for the 5'7" senior.
Hernandez has really come on the last few games, as I mentioned before. She's finding the bottom of that net.
How about that 3? Just a bit short. That's going to hit the wall out of bounds.
That was a heat check. She wanted to see if she could hit another one.
And Coach Garcia is going to take a timeout now with 6:09 remaining. So Sharn Sahota gets 5 quick here at the start of the second quarter. Placer still leads 18-11 with 6:09. We'll be right back on the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
In Nevada City, asking people what they like about SPD.
I've been shopping here for about 20 years, and the people are very courteous, and I especially like the meat counter. It's nice. You have a great selection, very helpful.
Because it's local, it's small, they have wonderful selections of things I need, and the personnel are very nice.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
7-point lead for the Lady Hillmen here in the second quarter. Just under 6 minutes remaining. Maddie Hernandez with it. Over to Brogdon. Camelucci down low for Al-Mujadidi, no good. And the rebound is taken by the Lady Wolves.
Dara Al-Jamudidi is the Placer freshman on the team. Definitely going to be a good player as she develops and grows into her role.
Long 3 by Lau. Another offensive rebound by Huerta, and Huerta is fouled. by Al-Mujadidi. That is her second. Also 5 team fouls for the Lady Hillmen. Stephanie Noble comes on now for Molly Brogdon. And Livingston will inbound underneath the basket. Lau takes the 3. That is short. Offensive rebound, and we have a travel.
Up and down, got the ball. Knew she had Vanderdoes looming over her.
That's Castellanos after a nice offensive rebound. Still 18-11. Vanderdoes for 3, and that puts her up to 10 tonight.
If she's not beating you inside, she's beating you outside.
Long 2 and the roll. Castellanos gets on the scoreboard. (21-13). Placer leads. Pass almost picked off on its way to Hernandez. Hernandez gets it up and in. Vanderdoes and Hernandez combined have 19
of the 23.
Of the 23. That falls out of bounds. That goes off the foot of Sahota. Placer now with a 10-point lead.
Camelucci needs to take that shot.
Pass gets tipped on her way over to her, puts it up with the left hand, no good, and that falls out of bounds off the hands of Stephanie Noble. Placer now has the full court press on, which Livingston beats with speed. And we have a foul, looks like coming off the screen, and that will be against Al-Mujadidi. That is her 3rd foul. And more importantly, the 6th team foul for Placer, as she will come off and Amber Burchell will come back in.
I gotta learn to say that name like you do. Al-Mujadidi. Just rolls off your tongue. She's gonna be a good player here for the next 3 years.
Almost a travel. And almost a foul on Hernandez. Lau pulls up, but before she does, she will travel. That did look like an interesting stutter step on the 3-point line.
Wolves are trying what they can to get any kind of a clear shot.
Now that Placer has realized that they will take more outside shots than most teams. Placer's done a pretty good job adjusting. Down low to Vanderdoes. Vanderdoes, well defended. Never had a shot, never had a chance at the shot, I should say. And that pass is almost picked off, and that goes out of bounds off of Huerta, who really tried to sell that.
They're actually going to give the ball now to, he changed his call, Steve. The Wolves are going to take it out of bounds.
Well, I guess she did sell it. Sahota takes the 3 and hits it. That may have been beyond the NBA line.
Never saw a shot she didn't like. Simply can't shoot the lights out.
Well, Hernandez just drives it straight through. She made that look easy. Well, Placer back up to a 5-point lead now. Sahota being pressured by Stephanie Noble. And now she puts it up. No good. Rebound falls to Burchell. Up ahead. Camelucci all alone, and she puts it up and draws the foul. That was a frustration foul more than anything.
Yeah, that was after
Huerta.
she released the ball. Pretty meaningless as far as fouls go.
Except it gives Camelucci a chance for an extra point.
Julia Camelucci, she is a junior. We'll see her next year. She's an excellent player. There's a good shot of Julia.
There's a conversation going on over at the scorer's table. Looks like the Placer scorekeeper has some question for the referee. I'm not entirely sure what this is all about.
They're checking the number of fouls, I'm guessing, Steve. Placer now with 6 fouls.
No, by my count, that's only 3 on Livingston, which is what they have.
We're told by Gil Dominguez in the truck that is Vern Bridges over there.
And it looks like it was the number of points on the scoreboard they were talking about. 27-16. They added a couple more for Placer. And Camelucci's free throw no good. Nice rebound taken by Sahota. Quickly up court, takes the shot and hits it.
Wow, she can really shoot the lights out.
That's 10 for Sharon Sahota. 10 of her team's 18. Pass for Vanderdoes, knocked away and picked off by Sahota. Sahota pulls up. No good. 3 Wolves there, and the putback by Sodi. Her first 2 of the game. Placer got out-hustled on that fast break. Hernandez drives, puts it up and in.
Maddie Hernandez is really coming on in the last few games. She's impressive, no doubt about it.
We'll see if this outside game opens up some holes in the paint. And we're going to get a foul on Burchell. That will be team foul number 7. And a couple of free throws, possibly, for Gurpreet Sodi. (29-20), a minute 44 left in the first half. First free throw is no good, and rebound taken by Camelucci. Pass down low, no good from Noble. Noble gets another chance and gets the roll.
Good to see Stephanie getting some points. Another sophomore in the game for Placer.
Lau walks it in. That's a couple more. She's up to 5. Quick up pass, Noble again. No good. Second chance blocked. Third chance, no good. Rebound comes out. And the Wolves get it picked off. Wolves jump on it again. Quickly over to Lau. How's that for a play?
Wow.
Gurpreet Sodi with the finish. She'll get another chance for a free throw.
And I'll tell you, the Wolves, if they win, it will be because of their effort. They are on the floor. They're doing everything they can to stay in this ball game. They're scrappers, Steve.
A foul is on Maddie Hernandez, her second. Sodi's free throw is good. She's up to 5 now. 31-25, just under a minute left in the first half. Hernandez pass is blocked. And there was an opportunity for a fast break. Now the Wolves will have to set up an offense. And we have an offensive foul. That's going to be on Sodi. That is her first. The high screen was a little too physical for the referees. 37 seconds, Placer will inbound. Pass to Vanderdoes. Vanderdoes puts it up against pressure. Lau with the rebound, and there is no shot clock, down to 25. That shot, rather, is blocked out of bounds.
20 seconds on the clock.
That was Stephanie Noble who got that block. And there is no need for a quick shot. In fact, I'm a bit surprised Livingston doesn't hold on for the last shot. There's a 2 from the baseline, put up and in by Castellanos. So Placer with 10 seconds now gets a chance. 4-point game, 31-27. Vanderdoes, 4-3, short. Rebound is taken, and that is the end of the first half. Livingston comes back in a big way.
Big way, Steve. You can't say it any better than that. About the time we think that they're going to get blown out of the gym, this scrapping team finds the three ball, finds their range, and puts themselves back in the ball game. 4 points. Who'd have thought?
Outscoring Placer 21-18. How's that for an offensive explosion?
It really is.
39 points combined for these two teams. 19 combined in the first quarter, and really a lot of that had to do with Livingston's outside shot. They finally started getting some rolls, and Sharon Sahota, wow, she can really shoot the ball.
You know, as good as any girls basketball player we've seen this year from the outside.
Oh, definitely.
Big old arcing shot, a little bit unusual the way they shoots it from down here, but boy, the ball finds the bottom of the net, doesn't it?
It does, and she really struggled in that first quarter. Didn't stop her from trying, though, I'll give her that. And she put a few in from well beyond the three-point line. Definitely enough to rival Bailey Vanderdoes.
And, you know, I like the way that they're sealing Vanderdoes off. She must have had 6-7 shots right out of the basket that she didn't make just because of the tenacious defense the Wolves are putting on.
Absolutely. Use the word swarm in that second quarter. That's exactly what this Livingston team does. They have lots of players around the ball. On a fast break, I've never seen an offensive rebound where there were 3 offensive players around. That really was unexpected, but they got there and they really are hungry for those second and third chance opportunities. So 31-27, Placer with a somewhat slimmer lead than a lot of people would have expected here in the Allied Gymnasium. We'll see what Livingston has in store for the second half on your TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
Welcome to Plaza Tire and Automotive Service in Grass Valley. At Plaza Tire and Automotive Service, the customer comes first. We only do what's right for the customer, not necessarily what's right for business. Third generation family member, learned all that I know from my Grandpa Fred, my dad, my Uncle Mike, my grandma. My entire family's been a huge part of learning about the automotive industry. Grass Valley is our 4th location, and you can also find us in Colfax, Penn Valley, and Nevada City. I am Blake Hauser, and I welcome you to join us for the grand opening at our Grass Valley location.
Back here at the Earl Crabb Gymnasium at Placer High School. And as you can see on the TouchdownProductions.com scoreboard, we have a heck of a basketball game with only 19 total points scored. And with Livingston only scoring 6 in the first, they came back and outscored Placer 21-18 in the second quarter. And Placer hangs on to a 4-point lead heading into the second half.
And I'm going to steal your stat here, Steve. It's very interesting. Bailey Vanderdoes, 10 points. And the other star on the other side of the ball, Sahota, also with 10 points. Although I think the player of the game thus far, Maddie Hernandez. Maddie has been strong to the basket, been keeping him in this game. It's nice when you have another player besides Vanderdoes step up and contribute points.
Also another interesting scoring statistic. There is only one bench player who has any points, and that is Stephanie Noble with 2. In fact, I think Livingston only had 1 sub in the game. That was Ileana Mendoza, and she was in just long enough to rack up 2 fouls.
And you know, a good point you made. We saw last week against this Placer Hillmen team, Colfax ran out of gas. They didn't have a bench to support the play. They actually outplayed Placer for 3 quarters, and then Placer, just because of their depth, came in and ran them off the court. Just ran out of gas. That could happen with a short bench that we've got here for the Livingston Wolves.
Well, Livingston has their starters out on the floor, as do the Lady Hillmen after a quick check. Livingston will get the inbound, and it looks like we are all ready to start the second half of playoff basketball. Placer guarding the inbound pass way closer than I thought they would. There's a 3 on the way from Lau. Second chance. No good. And now Livingston gets to set up a third chance. Hernandez is pressuring Sodi in the corner, gives it to Lau. Lau puts up the runner. That was partially blocked. And Hernandez tried to come down with it and stepped on the line.
Just barely by an eyelash, but she did get the line.
So that will be an defensive rebound and a turnover as Livingston gets a fresh shot clock, which they didn't necessarily deserve, but they have nonetheless. And that will be a blocking foul as Vanderdoes handily blocks Ashley Huerta's shot after the fact. That is the third foul on Amber Burchell. Burchell and Hernandez and Mujadidi all with more than 2 fouls. Mujadidi with 3. There's a 2 on the way. In, out, and back in. I believe that was Anais Castellano.
It was Castellano.
31-29, Placer leads. And now we have a travel on Camelucci. Suddenly Livingston, who was down by as much as 10 points in the first quarter, have narrowed this lead to 2 and have the chance to go ahead. Something they have yet to do. Lau throws it out, splits a couple of Lady Wolves. Zahota gets it picked, but there was a foul. That's going to be on Maddie Hernandez. That's her 3rd.
And 2 team fouls already on Placer for this half,
which is only a minute 18 old. So can Placer defend the inbound? The answer is almost, as Ashley Huerta comes up with it. Again, fresh shot clock.
Wolves need to get out of that corner.
Well, nice move by Castellanos, but no finish. She throws it straight into the rim. Quickly up ahead are the Lady Hillmen. That pass is blocked, and it comes to Sodi.
Good defense by the Wolves.
And by the Lady Hillmen. Don't think we'll see 39 points get put up in this quarter. That shot is
blocked again.
Blocked from behind. And a quick up to Camelucci. Camelucci can't catch the pass. Down low for Burchell, and Burchell gets her first 2 points of the night. And Coach Garcia takes a timeout with 5:50 remaining. That is a sloppy quarter of basketball so far. And with 5:50 left, it is still a 4-point lead for the Placer Lady Hillmen. You're watching playoff basketball here on the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. Gil Dominguez.
And Teresa Dietrich.
And we welcome Pioneer Motors to the NorCal Game of the Week.
Pioneer Motors is where you go for trucks. We have a huge selection of lowered, lifted, and 4-wheel drive trucks.
At Pioneer Motors, we have a huge selection of all-wheel drive vehicles like Audi, Volvo, and Toyotas, to name a few. Looking for a fun car to drive? Come on down to Pioneer Motors and see our huge selection of Mini Coopers, hatchbacks, and luxury cars too.
Remember, it's Pioneer Motors right here in Grass Valley.
The best cars at the best prices with great friendly customer care.
With this huge selection, why go anywhere else? Shop local.
Back here at Placer High School, full court press by the Lady Hillmen, broken by Livingston. And that contested rebound will go out of bounds off of Livingston. That was a tough shot by Tina Lau.
Yeah, it is.
Never really had much of a chance of getting that one in.
Anytime you go into the middle of that key and you've got Vanderdoes standing there, it's a tough shot.
Hernandez kicks it out. Vanderdoes with it. Isolation play. Spins away. Shot no good. Rebound by Sodi. And the press is called off. Zahota guarded by Camelucci, throws it inside and still blocked by Vanderdoes, who even bit on the shot fake.
Camalucci's doing a heck of a job on defense on Sodi.
And that shot by Hernandez was blocked. 2-on-2 developing, and that is going to be 3 free throws for Sharon Sahota.
Camalucci got most of the ball there, but they're going to give her the benefit of getting it on the arm.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of wrist in there too. That was pretty low in the shot.
But you can see that Camalucci has really stepped up her defense. She is nose to nose with Sahota.
Well, Sahota hits the first free throw. She now has one more point than Bailey Vanderdoes. 33-30 the score.
Tony Camalucci probably said to Camalucci, hey, you got to get this kid will shoot from anywhere. You better get out on her.
The third free throw bounces home. Sahota with 13 of her team's 32, and it is a 1-point game. Well, the Livingston fans may be few in number, but they are making their voices heard. Hernandez, isolation, puts it up with the left hand and draws the foul. She'll get to the line shooting 2. That foul is on Huerta, her second. Brogdon and Noble will come in after the first shot. Maddie Hernandez with 14 points. That is 4 above her average. Second shot by Hernandez is no good, and that will fall out of bounds into the band off of Huerta. So good break for the Lady Hillmen. They will get to inbound. Vanderdoes wide open down low.
No dribble, just 2 steps, and if they can get the ball into her there, there's not much defense that they can do.
Back up to a 4-point lead for the Lady Hillmen. Lau from the corner for 3. That's a bit short. Rebound taken by Noble. Hernandez quickly up court. We've seen a lot of the sophomore duo of Brogdon and Noble eating up minutes for Lewis and Burchell. I'm sure we'll see a lot of them in the years to come. Excellent ball handling skills. As Hernandez goes up against Tina Lau and draws another foul.
Lane just opened up for Maddie, and she took advantage of it.
That was a bad switch. Lau had to come in, and Lau was about 4 inches shorter than Maddie Hernandez. Into the game now for Livingston. Ileana Mendoza comes in for Lau. Mendoza 2 fouls, no points, and has so far been the only sub for the Livingston Lady Wolves. Second shot by Hernandez is good. She has 16 now. And Placer extends their lead to 6. 3:25 remaining. Mendoza down for Huerta. Huerta gets the baseline, and she draws a foul. This will be on Molly Brogdon.
Let's see if they call it on Brogdon. Or yes, they will. It is going to be on Molly. I thought there was a possibility Vanderdoes picked up her third.
Well, Vanderdoes only has 1 so far tonight. She does a pretty good job of staying out of foul trouble.
Yeah, remarkably so. You're right.
Second shot is good. So Huerta moves up to 4. And the lead shrinks to 5. Hernandez, Vanderdoes, and Vanderdoes just out-muscled Gurpreet Sodhi. Lead back up to 7. That's how this game started, a 7-0 run. Long three on the way, no good. Rebound taken, second chance, no good. And Vanderdoes drew about 4 fouls there. See what they call the foul on. Looks like they will be on Castellanos, her first.
Fouls now are even 4-3, Steve. No advantage by either team.
Well, much more even than it was in the first half. Livingston with just 4 fouls to Placer's 7. Skip pass to Hernandez. Hernandez takes the 3. No good. Cambelucci the rebound. No good. Rebound taken by Sodhi. Sodhi is holding this team together so far. Nice bite by Cambelucci on the high screen. The shot is a bit short. All the coaches for Livingston yelling for a foul on the elbow, but they are not going to get it this time. Approaching the 2-minute mark in the third quarter. Hernandez over to Noble. Back to Hernandez to Cambelucci. Cambelucci misses very long. And still a 7-point lead for the Lady Hillmen. High screen, 3 on the way. Very short, and that will go out of bounds. That may be the worst shot from Sharon Sahota tonight. That 3 was wide open.
She was wide open. She's been hitting those. I think Nina Garcia, her coach, will let her take that shot all night.
Lady Hillman, I'm sure, running some clock on purpose over to Hernandez. Hernandez takes the 3, and she does not miss. 19 of her team's 43 points.
Wolves just got shut down points-wise here in the third quarter.
Sahota gets that ball knocked away, but she recovers. 14 on the shot clock, and she got hacked by Vanderdoes. I don't know what she's complaining about. She got her run on the forearm.
So if you can't get 3 with 1 shot, she'll try to do it again with 3 shots from the line.
That might be the easiest call I have seen tonight, and Vanderdoes reacted like she was 7 feet away. And with that, Sahota up to 14 points. Same number of points as Bailey Vanderdoes yet again. Into the game now is Al-Mujadidi in for Julia Cambelucci. And this is the advantage of having depth on your side. You can have your starters take a break. Sahota hits 2 of 3 again. Lead shrinks to 8. 43-35, 45 seconds remaining in the third quarter. That pass rejected. Lady Hillmen recover. Hernandez. Cuts left. That pass broken up. Now Sahota trying to draw a foul, and eventually does on Brogdon.
16 foul now for Placer.
That puts Livingston in the bonus for the rest of the game. No shot clock, 23.9 remaining in the third. Kind of a low pass. Vanderdoes blocks 1, blocks 2, gets the rebound, but she's going to get called for an elbow, I believe. No, this will stay with Placer, and the foul is on Mendoza. And that is her third foul. .15 seconds left in the third quarter. 43-35 the score in favor of the Lady Hillmen. Hernandez takes the long three. No good. Rebound taken by Noble. Ball pops out. Down to 2 seconds. 1 second. She's not going to get it off.
And she's going to get another three ball.
She got fouled. Bailey Vanderdoes fouls her at the buzzer. And Sharon Sahota will shoot three with no time on the clock. Coach Campbellucci can't believe it.
I can believe it. It was clearly a foul. If there was time on the clock.
Here's the thing, Paul. It may have been the right call. You will not see that called very often.
That's very true. On a three-point long ball with time ticking down.
They put 0.2 of a second on the clock. Sahota has 16 of her team's 36 points.
And she's just deadly at the line. I think she's missed one.
2.
Thank
3.
you. Has it been 3 now? And now it's 3.
Yep. She's hit 2 of 3 on her last 2. I guess tri-fold free throw attempt. She only hits 1 this time. Rebound is taken by Tyra Al-Mujadidi, and now we will head to the fourth quarter. The lead just a little bit smaller for the Lady Hillmen, but still a pretty nice score if you're a Placer fan. Very reminiscent of the first quarter. Placer outscoring Livingston 12-9, and Placer heads into the fourth quarter 43-36. They just have 8 more minutes to survive, and unless Livingston can put together something amazing, we will see Placer move on. You're watching playoff basketball on the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
Your car is one of the most important assets you own. And Reeby's Auto Parts is dedicated to helping you keep it in tip-top condition. Reeby's Auto Parts is a family-owned and operated business since 1956. We have a friendly and knowledgeable staff, and as a Napa Auto Parts dealer, you're sure to find the right part you need from either of our 2 Nevada County locations. You can always count on Reeby's to be there when you need us. It's Reeby's Auto Parts in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
8 minutes of basketball remaining here at Placer High School. The Lady Hillmen on top of the Livingston Lady Wolves, 43-36. And Placer will inbound. Tyra Al-Mujadidi stays in the game with 3 fouls for Placer. Next to Hernandez. Over to Brogdon. To Vanderdoes. Back to Hernandez. Shot clock down to 15. Hernandez trying to get through Huerta. Can't. Brogdon the runner. And she's got her first 2 points of the game. 45-36. That pass knocked out of bounds by Maddie Hernandez, so Livingston will inbound. There's a long 2 on the way. That's no good. Second chance is good by Gurpreet Sodhi. She has 7. Boy, I wish I was keeping track of offensive rebounds tonight because Livingston would be knocking this one out of the park. Mujadidi's pass. Disrupted. Noble. Second chance. No good, and she walked. 2 chances just was not enough. Livingston still pressuring under the basket. And at the next whistle, Campbellucci will come in. There's a 3 on the way. That's short. Rebound taken by Sodhi. Second chance, and that's good.
Maybe she just needs to move in a little bit, Steve. She keeps shooting that 3 ball.
Sharon Sahota with 18 points.
It's a 5-point game, though. It is still anybody's basketball game.
45-40 with 6:39 remaining. Timeout taken by Placer, and we'll come back with the rest of the fourth quarter on your TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
Magnuson's Toyota and Scion is celebrating 25 years serving you in the foothills. Right now, Magnuson's carries the first all-electric SUV, and they're still the home of the Toyota Tundra. Magnuson's Dodge Chrysler Jeep is right down the street and features the new Ram diesel truck, Jeep Wranglers, and Grand Jeep Cherokee. It's Magnuson's Auburn Toyota and Magnuson's Dodge, both in Auburn.
6:30 left in the fourth quarter. Bailey Vanderdoes is fouled. She'll head to the line. That is the 5th team foul on the Livingston Lady Wolves. This one called on Gurpreet Sodhi, her 2nd. No Livingston starter has more than 2 fouls. Whereas Placer has Hernandez with 3, Burchell with 3, and Vanderdoes all with 3.
And we've seen this before. Coach Camelucci for Placer likes to pound the ball in at the end here. 6 minutes left. He'll go inside to his big star as much as he possibly can.
Vanderdoes has 16. Hernandez has 19. And we have an offensive foul. That's going to be a moving screen on Castellanos. That is her 2nd. Also the 2nd screen that has turned into an offensive foul for Livingston. Vanderdoes walks in, 2nd chance, and she hits it. I thought that may have been a travel before the foul, but it turns out it was just a really convincing shot fake. And that is the 3rd foul on Anais Castellanos, who has one of the toughest assignments in basketball, and that is guarding Bailey Vanderdoes, who now has 1 more point than Sharon Sahota. And we have another moving screen, this time on Tina Lau.
They're just getting there a little too early and not setting their feet. Clearly a foul, Steve, but you don't see it all that often.
We've seen it 3 times in this game. Back up to a 10-point lead for the Lady Hillmen, who have just been grinding points away. And that passes through the hands of Vanderdoes. 3-on-2. Pull-up jumper is good. Sharon Sahota with 20.
Where most players would go to the basket and try to get the layup, she just pulls up and takes the 10-footer.
Well, Hernandez just pulled up, doesn't get the roll. Rebound taken by Castellanos. 8-point lead. Oh, that pass was much too high. And now Camelucci with the break. She puts it up just a bit too high. And Tina Lau is there with the defensive rebound, and Coach Garcia takes a timeout. 50-42 with 5:18 remaining in the fourth quarter. Placer on top of the Livingston Lady Wolves on the TouchdownProductions.com Game of the Week.
It's time to visit the newly remodeled B&C True Value Home and Garden Center. The new B&C has completely changed for your shopping convenience. Their new expanded garden center has everything you need, including expert advice on trees, shrubs, and perennials. Check out their new website and the new spring hours. And thank you for voting B&C the best hardware and building supply in 2012. So start right, start here at B&C True Value Home and Garden Center.
Back at the Earl Crab, and as you can see on the TouchdownProductions.com scoreboard, Placer has extended their lead by 3. They are now up 50-40. It's actually 50-42.
Any team that can shoot the 3-ball like Livingston has always got a possibility of getting back in it.
Well, Hernandez is going to be called for a, oh no, this will be a jump ball. Certainly looked like Hernandez had a lot of arm there, but the possession arrow, well, there's going to be some talking over which direction the arrow is pointing, but it is favoring the Livingston Lady Wolves. It's only the 3rd jump ball of the game. Usually in girls basketball, you'll see about 10. There's a 3 on the way. Just a bit short. Rebound taken by Almuja Didi. Camelucci was wide open, still is wide open, and she can't put it home. Rebound taken by Brogdon. Throws it over to Hernandez. Fresh shot clock. Nice shot fake by Brogdon. And this will fall out of bounds and go towards Livingston. Before the inbound, Coach Camelucci takes a timeout. 8-point lead for the Placer Lady Hillmen. 4:42 left in the fourth quarter here on first round playoff basketball. We'll be right back on the touchdownproductions.com game of the week.
We're at SPD Market in Nevada City asking people what they like about SPD.
I've been shopping here for about 20 years, and the people are very courteous, and I especially like the meat counter. It's nice. You have a great selection, very helpful.
Because it's local, it's small, they have wonderful selections of things I need, and the personnel are very nice.
And that's why people love SPD Markets in Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Full court press put on here by the Lady Hillmen. Just broken by the Livingston Lady Wolves. That three-pointer is no good. Saved, and that goes out of bounds. And that will go towards Placer. That was very interesting. You don't usually see two players from opposing teams both letting the ball go out of bounds. Figure one of them's got to go for it. (50-42). And that pass broken up. Fast break, up with it, and good. Sharon Soda has 22.
Soda can finish. That was beautifully done going to the basket.
And that was not easy. Down low for Brogdon. Brogdon gets it taken away. It's still loose, and we have a timeout. Coach Camelucci screaming for a timeout before the ball could be turned over.
Really?
3:46 left in the fourth quarter. 50-44, Placer leads. We'll be right back on the touchdownproductions.com game of the week.
Welcome to Plaza Tire and Automotive Service in Grass Valley. At Plaza Tire and Automotive Service, the customer comes first. We only do what's right for the customer, not necessarily what's right for business. Third generation family member, learned all that I know from my Grandpa Fred, my dad, my Uncle Mike, my grandma. My entire family's been a huge part of learning about the automotive industry. Grass Valley is our fourth location, and you can also find us in Colfax, Penn Valley, and Nevada City. I am Blake Hauser, and I welcome you to join us for the grand opening at our Grass Valley location.
Back here at Placer High School, 3:46 left in the fourth quarter. Placer up by 6, just has to hang on for an extra 3:46. And they will be headed to the second round of the postseason. And Placer gets to inbound under the basket. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Down low, Camelucci was wide open. Miscommunication there.
Can't give those up, Steve. Just can't give them up.
Well, quickly ahead for Sodi. Sodi trying to get some room, and she gets fouled. Just remains to be seen whether this will be one or two. It will be two foul shots. The foul was on Al Mujadidi. That is her fourth. As a team, Livingston's been shooting free throws right about 50%, a little bit above that. Al Mujadidi comes out, and Raven Lewis comes back in. Sodi with 8 points. And she is second on the team for scoring for Livingston. Sahota with 22 is far and away the points leader. That's a three on the way. That is well short. Rebound quickly taken by Sahota up court. 7-point lead. Camelucci guarding her very tight. Nothing on the baseline, and Hernandez knocks the pass out of bounds. 17 seconds on the shot clock.
I got to tell you, Julia Camelucci's defense this second half has really made a difference.
She will shoot that, and she does.
She's not going to get a better shot. I think she thinks that Camelucci's going to come up on her. So she's taking what she's given.
Well, if that's all Placer is giving them, then they may as well close the book on this game.
I agree.
I think she's about 1 for 5 on that shot, and 3 of those have been air balls. Still a 7-point lead for the Lady Hillmen. Hernandez running some time off the clock, I'm sure. Over to Brogdon. Down low for Vanderdoes. Vanderdoes no good. Rebound taken but given away. Vanderdoes again, and she puts it in. Can't give them that many opportunities. Oh, nice. Crossover. Shot no good. But another offensive rebound. Lau drives, no good. Third chance, no good. And that'll be a hard foul as Lau goes hard into Maddie Hernandez. That will be Lau's third. Hard but unintentional foul. And I'm a bit surprised this is going to be free throws, as that really seemed like a loose ball foul.
Lau very apologetic as she tries to help Maddie up. But I'll tell you what, she is one tough cookie. Maddie Hernandez will get up off the floor every time.
She was up before Lau had a chance to help her.
Yeah.
So those will be 1 and 1. And Hernandez with that free throw moves up to 20 points. Sahota has 22, Vanderdoes has 21. And Hernandez with that roll will also move up to 21. Let me ask you, Paul, how do you beat a team that has 2 players that put up 21 points?
That's a good question, Steve, and a lot of teams have asked that question this year.
As Sahota moves up to 24.
But, you know, Maddie Hernandez has not been scoring this many points.
About half this much on average.
Yeah.
That pass to Vanderdoes is corralled, but she will travel before she, oh no, she's fouled before the shot.
You know, and she was in the key at least 5 seconds too, Steve. She moves around a lot, so the officials rarely pick it up, but she camps out in there.
And that is the 4th foul on Tina Lau. And since that is the 10th team foul for Livingston, this will be 2 shots.
With 1:42 left here, it would appear that Placer's moving on. No real surprise there, but you've got to hand it to a scrappy Livingston team and their coach, Nina Garcia.
And see, there's the brackets. With Placer moving on over Livingston, they will more than likely be traveling to Sonora unless Bear River can pull off a fantastic upset. As we get back to live action, Vanderdoes hit the 2nd free throw. Second chance opportunity, no good, but Camelucci gives the ball away, and we have a foul on Placer. That will be team foul number 9, so a 1 and 1 for sophomore Ashley Huerta.
You look for Julia Camelucci next year to be an all-star.
That was Camelucci's 2nd foul, which puts Huerta at the line. She hits the first one. That's 5 points for Huerta. Livingston has no bench points, but every starter has at least 5. Second shot, no good. Offensive rebound, and Sodi puts it in. Sodi has 10. 8-point game. Placer has a 3-on-2 the other way. Camelucci thought about throwing it to Brogdon, but wisely goes for the safe
No
play.
need, yeah. They're going to have to start fouling here pretty quick.
Well, you don't want to foul Hernandez. You don't really want to foul Camelucci. You don't really want to foul Vanderdoes. You don't really want to foul Brogdon. Well, Brogdon pulls up, takes a long 2, and she hits it. Molly Brogdon at 5'3", puts that home for her 4th point. Oh, well, one up, put 2 more up there for Sahota. She has 26. Quick foul, and that puts Maddie Hernandez on the line for 2. Let's see who the foul is called on. I believe that's on Sahota. If you can believe it, that's her first foul.
Unbelievable. 39 seconds left here in this game.
This is a matter of Hernandez missing both of these free throws, a quick three, another foul, missing free throws, and another three. Well, she missed the first one, so there's the first step.
Super Steve, only you can come up with that scenario.
Well, this is the only way Livingston's going to win this game, 39.7 seconds. This is the point of intentionally fouling, the hack-a-shack, as it were. Well, Hernandez does manage to hit one. That moves her up to 22 points.
They're just going to fall back now. Oh, they're going to throw it out of bounds.
Now that about ends this game. 9 points. It's still theoretically a 3-possession game if you can hit 3 3-pointers. Well, there's Vanderdoes. You don't want to foul her, but you have to now. And Sahota does. That's her second. And in the unlikely event that Bailey Vanderdoes misses 2 consecutive free throws, I said it was unlikely. Don't roll your eyes at me, Paul.
All right.
Still a 9-point game after all. Well, she gets the roll on the first one. Vanderdoes has 24. Hernandez has 22. Sahota has 26. This has been a game of giants, and Blaster just had one more than Livingston. 25 points. Timeout taken with 29.9 seconds left. And Paul, as this timeout goes on, let's go ahead and talk about player of the game.
I'll take your suggestion, Steve. I've got my idea. I'd say Maddie Hernandez is the player of the game for Placer.
2 consecutive.
You know, you could give it to Vanderdoes.
25 points.
You could give it to Julia Camalucci for having great defense on the Wolves star, Sahota. Or, it's your call, Steve. I'm going to leave it up to Super Steve Sitter to make that call tonight.
You know, even though they lose, I'm still tempted to go with Sahota just because she has played as well as 3 players. But it's hard to give a player of the game to someone not on the winning team. I mean, even Lau's doing pretty good, although Vanderdoes just swatted that pretty handily. 20.9 seconds left. I think we go with Maddie Hernandez. 22 points when you average just under 11. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Lau's got to be careful she doesn't get another foul. And how about Castellanos? She's got 8. 10 seconds, and it looks like Livingston will let this game go quietly into the night. Well, Lau just picked up a steal, but she's not going to be able to put up a 9-foot shot, or 9-point shot. And that wraps up the first round of the postseason. Placer manages to eke out a victory over Livingston.
There's the final line score.
Just an interesting game. No scoring in the first and third quarters, and just an immense amount of scoring in the second and fourth. I'm not really sure how to account for all that except for fatigue on both teams in the fourth. 63-54 is the final. And let's just recap this scoring quickly. Bailey Vanderdoes with 25, Maddie Hernandez with 22, Sharon Sahota with 26. And then after that you have Gurpreet Sodhi with 10, Julia Camalucci with 8, Anais Castellanos with 8, Huerta and Lau both with 5, Brogdon with 4, Noble and Burchell both with 2. And this really was a case of Livingston just not having an answer for both Vanderdoes and Hernandez. When Vanderdoes was shut down in the first 3 quarters of this game, Maddie Hernandez was on fire. And in the fourth quarter, when Hernandez wasn't getting those open shots, Vanderdoes was down low, getting the second chance opportunities that weren't there in the first 3 quarters. And I think a lot of that does have to do with fatigue. Livingston only had 1 bench player, and that was Ileana Mendoza with 0 points. All 5 of their scorers were their starters, and they just had no one else to go to.
And that pretty much sums it up. Lady Hillmen move on in their bracket. And we will we'll hope to be able to follow their team as they progress through the playoffs. You see them shuffling out here.
And just for me, from an athlete's point of view, I remember my last high school baseball game. I definitely remember that. It was the first round of the playoffs. I was in the playoffs all 4 years of my high school career, and we lost in the first round all 4 years. So to see a player like Sharon Sahota, who was an outstanding shooter, and more than that, an outstanding overall player. I mean,
right.
She was very active defensively. She was mixing it up, getting those rebounds from a shooting guard, getting second chance rebound. That is huge, and you just don't see that in girls basketball. To see a player like that, and no, that's her last game. That's her last game until she gets to college.
That's right.
That is a hard thing, because she really deserves to go deeper into the playoffs, but what can you do? You got Placer in the first round. You got Maddie Hernandez and Bailey Vanderdoes to tangle with. Someone's got to lose.
Well, there's a picture there of Coach Tony Camelucci. We know that he will be pleased about this game, although he does have the home court advantage here in the Earl Krebs Gymnasium, and that definitely helps. He'll need it as he progresses through the playoffs.
And more than likely they will be traveling down to Sonora.
Yep.
So they lose that home court advantage pretty quickly, unless Bear River pulls off an outstanding upset, in which case Bear River would come down here as you see the girls' Division IV brackets. On Thursday, Placer either goes to Sonora or stays here and hosts Bear River.
If they do host Bear River, that would be a dream game, and we will be there. TouchdownProductions.com will be covering that, but we'll also have more basketball this week. Executive producer, Gilbert M. Dominguez. Thank you, Gilbert. Camera operators, Cody Hitchcock and Giovanni Paulo. Good job, Giovanni, being right here in front of us all night. Super Steve Sitter. Gil, from now on, put the word super in front of his name there. Announcers.
Put it in quotes, please.
Remote Facilities Commander 2. Thanks, Lynn Dominguez, for working on the website. Go to touchdownproductions.com. Follow us on the web or at Facebook. Commander Maintenance, Plaza Tire and Auto Service, and Reeves Auto Parts. Touchdown Accounting, Cinto Group.
You can contact us over at Oscar Drive or call the phone number listed, or just head to touchdownproductions.com. We have tons of DVDs of past footage going back, well, longer than I can count.
Almost longer than you've been born, bud.
Just about. Next game Wednesday, Nevada Union and the Ponderosa Bruins. Be sure to check that out over at touchdownproductions.com. And be sure to join us all week for the CIF Sac Joaquin Section Les Schwab Tires Division IV playoffs.